I'm Chef Angie.
I'm Chef Tony.
I'm Chef Naya.
And we are Bound by Fire.
Cheers, ladies.
So, let's get into it. Well, we've had a busy month, or end of June, beginning of July. We got back from our Martha's Vineyard trip. I had a ball.
Me too.
I know you did. I know you did.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Especially that last night. It was lit.
Right.
My man was popping on a handstand. He was popping that pussy.
Yeah.
My man was popping that pussy, yo.
I'm so glad I talked you into all going out because I wasn't doing it.
Now, you had to talk her into it. I was ready for the streets.
Yeah.
We met Kanika, right? That's her name.
Kanika. Chef Kanika.
Chef
She was
Kanika.
great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Amazing young black chef on the Vineyard doing her thing.
Yeah, and she's got a lot of events coming up this month. She called me yesterday. She was at an event yesterday, and I got a call from Dr. Leslie, who gives the Icon dinner on the Vineyard at the Farm Institute every summer. And she called me and asked me, could I get her 3 sous chefs for this event. It's called The King is Dead. And it's a fundraiser for Spelman. I believe it's Spelman. Not really sure. I can't remember.
Spelman? Like
Spelman College.
Okay.
And so that's something. And that's a big event. Celebrity guest, because the tickets, I believe, are $500 for the dinner. So it draws a different crowd. Spike Lee, his wife, some other celebs go to it. I've had the opportunity to be a part of it a couple summers ago.
Well, when we was at the Vineyard, you did your thing, speaking on the panel.
Yes, I had a great
Go
time. And I really would like to take that, going from panel to panel, talking about food, global, where's it going? Mm-hmm. Just the whole cultural change. There's a big shift happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's right in front of us, but I'm not really clear on exactly the thread here, because we have our people, we have our female chefs traveling down south to get ideas, to get inspiration. I used to do that when I was coming up. I was in Louisiana, like every chance I could get, every weekend, every other weekend, just soaking it up, taking classes here, there, eating. I mean, I found out that in New Orleans, nobody makes a bad gumbo. On every corner, every little bar, you go and you taste a jambalaya or you taste a gumbo. I in my experience, I don't know about yours, Chef Naya, but in my experience, I haven't had a bad one yet.
I just found out that they make a different jambalaya leading up to Mardi Gras. So
jambalaya or
gumbo.
Yeah.
It's so funny because you said it earlier.
Zerb,
Yeah.
She yelled at us earlier and was like, people up north call.
Yeah.
People up north call. They mix up jambalaya and gumbo.
Yes, they do.
And I just proved it.
Yes, you did. But let me ask you, how did you like my gumbo?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was a gumbo virgin and inch pop.
And so, well, I'm glad that you cherry was popped with my gumbo.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
it was good.
Thank you.
Quite fine. And the reason why I was like, I got a hot take, because I would argue, I had this duck gumbo somewhere not far, like I was in the French Quarter, but like I think this coincides with the reason why this duck gumbo was trash. It was basically like sludge.
Ugh.
Like the roux was thick as hell. It was like if you had put your spoon,
sound like duck curry.
It would have like just stood up in it by itself.
Was it like a curry?
And what I would say is,
no,
what's
it was
happening,
too thick.
The great thing about New Orleans, right, is that it's this food mecca, right? And so you have all these people who are not from New Orleans coming down to learn New Orleans cuisine. But I think what also happens is after post-Katrina and with everything, and then, with the rise of like the flood of like Airbnbs and people, you can't go to New Orleans and see like people who really are from New Orleans living in New Orleans anymore, because they're being priced out of it. So like even the people who are used to cooking, I think at that one time that you could like go to any little place.
Yeah, because I'm talking definitely the late 80s and 90s.
Oh, I thought you was going to say like the 60s.
Every time, shut up.
Fuck you, Tony.
Yo, because every time I go back home, like I'm about to go back home like later this month, and it's like, I'll be like, yo, who's the chef? Or I'll go out and I'll go to like some bar and like they, do free food on Mondays, red beans and rice, whatever, watch a comedy show, and it'll be like everybody there's a transplant. Because a lot of people I know who are really from New Orleans can't afford to live in New Orleans anymore.
Yeah, well.
They got to go to like Houston. They
That's
have to
how
go where the
this about to be.
opportunity is. Yeah.
That's how our city about to be,
Yeah. So, and that's affecting the food culture there. And it's like pretty
Yes.
sad. Yeah.
And so if the restaurateurs are not the same restaurateurs, if they're changing, you've got transplants going down there, opening restaurants in New Orleans,
As we speak
who are not from there. And so they're going down, making their own little variation, not learning the culture or the flavor or the palate of the folks, down there. It's a difficult thing. I mean, flavors and how to create and copy flavors is an art and a talent. I mean,
we're just creating them.
Yeah, I mean, but I can
developing your palate.
Yeah, I can remember going to different places as a young chef and going down to New Orleans. Let me give you that for an example. In the 90s, and sitting at this bar, and I ordered oysters with Gruyere cheese, like on the top of the salamander, and pulled it, and I got those. I was like, oh, fuck. What the fuck is this? No, seriously. It was like, oh, my God. I'm taking this back, and I'm enhancing this shit. Right? So I brought it back to my restaurant, and I not only used a Gruyere cheese, I dabbled it with collard greens.
Oh, that's nice.
I topped it off with collard greens. Baby, bestseller.
Nice.
Bestseller.
I mean, you charbroil an oyster. As soon as I get home, as soon as my family picks me up, they know I need to go get me some oysters, and I need some turtle soup.
Oh yeah, I love turtle soup. I really love turtle soup.
Not me.
Well,
yeah,
it's an acquired taste.
It's just the way they look.
Yeah.
So have you had it?
I don't want to eat.
I like the crunch.
I like the way they
crunch. I like the crunch.
You drawn.
But anyway,
with the eggs.
So let's get back to where we started, and that was Martha's Vineyard and the panel, and trying to get booked for different panels around the country and around the world. It would be nice to take it to Europe.
Also inviting people on our podcast. We met a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot of connections that we plan on traveling and taking this show on the road. So
I would like to take the show on the road. I mean, I have 2 events that I would like us to go to, and grab some chefs and do a podcast. I think that would be excellent.
Shout out to Elle.
Shout out to Chef Elle. And I'd really like to talk to Jessica. I'd really like to have her, sit down and put us all in place, as she does so well. And so Martha's Vineyard was a success. Now we're back.
Yeah, it was great.
And now you had a busy week, Chef Tony, because you had some of my students and some of Chef Naya's students in our
CCAP
in your
CCAP.
CCAP.
Yeah, we had our CCAP job training program.
I can't wait till I see them little assholes come fall. The ones that didn't do well.
Oh, we had students that didn't do well?
Little derelict.
Listen, let me just say, I must have been a fabulous teacher.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my
The best,
God.
the creme
Tell
de
me
la creme.
what my student said.
Wait, so before I get into it, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what job training is. So it's a 1-week program. It is 40 hours a week for students, and what they learn is job readiness skills. So we teach them soft and hard skills. So soft skills being things like resume writing, interview skills, how to handle criticism, how to work your POS system, front of the house stuff. And then you got your hard skills, which are culinary arts skills, some other hospitality skills. And just combining those two with classroom versus hands-on stuff. We bring in a lot of guest chefs, to run a classroom. We bring in guest speakers. We took them on a tour to the Reading Terminal, where they did a scavenger hunt. And then we also took
I love the fact that you all did the resume thing.
Thank
you know,
you.
that's important. I mean,
I always get
really important.
I always get their like minds wondering when I talk about the resume thing, because I always be like, you know, writing resume is my side hustle, and I make a little cheddar off of that a week. So y'all lucky y'all getting this for free.
Wow.
And they're like, ooh, how much you make? Don't worry about that. Let's
Right,
write your resume.
right.
But and then we took him on a tour to the Lowe's Hotel, and
Nice.
Chef Tom at the Lowe's Hotel, he really talked about, you know, the different jobs that you can do in a hotel, and how, you know, starting from an intern, you can actually move up within positions within a hotel. And I think that was really important for the students to understand, because, going to, you know, being in a CTE culinary program or being involved in CCAP, you think everything is so culinary focused. But I always like to, you know, let the students know that CCAP is a stepping stone. It is not where you end. It is not something that you have to do, but use it to your advantage.
Absolutely.
And I love telling the students that.
I am just so proud of my students for even taking the initiative to fill out that application that you sent me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm proud of them too. They
to
was great.
fill it out and to actually follow through.
It was Samaj and Lavea from
And
Merle Dobbins.
Samaj and Lavea. Lavea ranks number 10 in her class.
Go Lavea.
Yes.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, she ranks number 10.
She also told me Lil Uzi was her cousin. So.
Yeah, well, we know that's a
And
lie.
then we had from Grants. We had a couple of folks from Grants. We had
Supported
honesty.
grads this year. Like,
Thank you.
I commend you, and I'm so like I would like to give you your flowers.
Oh,
on
thank
that.
you. I appreciate that. So
Oh.
what's up? We giving
Well,
our flowers?
put a pin in that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let me shout out the great students. Let me shout out my booze. It was so many of them. It's like Noah. It was so many of them. I got to see if I remember. So from Grants, we had Jamai, we had Honesty, Nevaeh, Rashad, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody from Grants, but I can't think of who. We had Rashad, Nevaeh, and Honesty. Oh, Omir. Omir was a good one.
He's a.
Omir was
there are a lot of shining stars. In
the thing I like
my
about,
class.
and I don't want to put him on the spot when I say this about Omir or like take anything from the other students, he loves to learn everything, but he doesn't take the time to learn everything. So
Well, he will.
He will.
He will.
So shout out to the students from CCAT.
The
shout
fact
out to
that he's
CCAT.
even in your company and in your tutorage
program is amazing.
Yeah, because they don't get it. I'm so proud of them, because all of those are my 10th graders. The 11th graders who are now going to be 12th graders this year, they just don't see the value, and I'm just like, bruh.
Shout out to all the kids from the CCAP job training program.
Yeah.
You guys did amazing.
Shout out.
You guys are winners. You know, they yelled at me because
moving on.
I always call them losers, but you guys are winners.
No,
shout out to you guys.
no, it's an amazing.
Did you
it's
say you called them losers?
amazing
I always call them
opportunity.
losers. I'm like, oh, losers.
Oh, I call my
They
kids.
love
that.
I call them degenerates.
But earlier, Angie was talking about like traveling and stuff like that, and she said restaurant tour, and it just popped like a little light bulb in my head. I want to say shout out to Philly, because we walked away with 3 James Beard Awards.
Yes, we did.
So
Yes,
shout
we
out to
did.
us. So the winners were Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They got Outstanding Restaurant.
And that's Chad, right?
And that's Chad. And then we had Ellen Yin with High Street Hospitality. She got Outstanding Restaurant Tour. And then we had Chef Nook from Kalaya
nice.
winning Best Chef Mid-Atlantic. So that's knocking a lot of people out the ballpark. So shout out to us. That's another clip.
Yeah, because Christina got it last year.
Yeah, and I didn't expect us to get it
Twice in one
twice in a row, and it being 2 minority women. So
that's
shout
what's
out
up.
to that. I think that's really awesome for 2 Asian women to walk away with an award. You know, was awesome to see, and especially like a black man who owns a restaurant to walk away with an award.
He deserves that.
And he
That
deserves
restaurant's
it. Like
doing
so
well.
prestigious, and he hires a lot of women. He hires a lot of women of color. You know, being Dominican, Puerto Rican, black, or whatever.
I know.
So I think the awards this year was well deserved. So shout out to the
All
James
the
Beard
winners.
Foundation.
Yes.
You know, I was a fellow
Yes.
a year ago. So shout out to y'all. Y'all always in my heart. Y'all always my family. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
So what we got planned for the summer?
Well, I'm going to be thoughting about down south. So I'm probably going to hit up Houston, New Orleans, Mississippi.
Oh, you outside?
And you better get it all in, because when are you due back to school?
I don't even know. I don't even check my
I think
calendar,
it's like the
bro.
19th for you.
Ugh, no, I don't.
Well, me and Andrew talking about how we kind of wanted to do like a fishing trip.
Yes, girls fishing trip, Cape May.
But not just us.
No, it's out to fellow chefs who want to take their first time fishing in Cape May early. Yep. So we have. I am a member of Les Dames Escoffier, and we have a scholarship.
Did you tell them your position of Les Dames? Because you do hold.
Because you are
some high
the
position
chair.
You are what? Let them know who you are.
You should tell me who
You're
I
the
am.
membership chair?
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
So what is your position at Les Dames? You know, you got a good one
I
over
totally forgot. But anyway, I want to say this. We have a young lady, Chef Sherry Scooby,
Okay.
is coming to Philadelphia this week.
Okay, chef, we outside.
And we are going to entertain her, show her around Philadelphia. I also want to I want to bring it back in one, tilapia is a real fish.
Thank you.
I disagree still.
I needed to come back after that first episode and have a discussion about that, because it is one of the oldest fish found native to Africa and Egypt. And I'm not so sure that that's not the fish that the fishermen with Jesus were fishing. Might have been. Tilapia might have been that fish. But I wanted to say it is still farmed.
Correct.
It is still a wastewater fish, meaning that it is a sewage fish.
What do you mean by sewage fish?
It eats shit.
So do crabs. So do all bottom feeders. So do shrimp.
Okay.
So do
Don't we hold
catfish.
fish, like actual fish, to like a different hierarchy though?
But here's what I would say.
Chill out.
With tilapia. That's
Chill
what I would
out.
say.
Bring it
Chill
down.
out.
Bring it down.
That's what I
Bring
would
it
say.
down.
Well, all I do want to say is, like, if I come to your house or if I come to your restaurant, you have tilapia on your menu. I'm not eating it. I'm not ordering it, and you can do better. Yeah,
No,
you can do
right.
better.
People have
I'm sorry, I
opinions.
don't mean to judge. If your fish tacos is made with tilapia, like, that's perfect. But like,
Perfect. I'm not eating that.
I mean, because you know, fish sticks
No,
gotta be
not
something.
But
eating
here's
that.
the thing. Here's the thing that I would say when it comes to farmed fish. Like, it's about how
Can
the
we
fish
have
is
some
farmed.
wine?
It's about
I
how the
think
fish
we-
is actually farmed, right? And so a lot of times, if the fish is not
do the
farmed
champagne.
in sanitary conditions, like it's
like pig though. Like
it's like
pork.
anything. If
how we
you're
eat pork.
fishing, if you're taking fish
Oh,
from
we're
a
doing the
polluted
red
waterway, then it's no bueno. So
No,
that's
that's
the whole
shit.
thing. But just to wrap it up, I think when you're talking about what's a sewage fish, what's a wastewater fish, or whatever, a lot of it is about the conditions under which that fish is being farmed or where that fish is living. So if we're talking about it's a bottom feeder, this or that, it just depends on where, like what it's feeding on and what ecosystem it's living in.
But I'm gonna be honest.
And look, it's all a preference too. What we consider waste fish today
need to
is
give
not
Tony
what
some more.
is considered a waste fish tomorrow.
Of course, and then I forget the woman's name, but she kind of had that.
The
that
woman
same-
at
Martha's Vineyard.
yeah,
she
on the
kind of had
panel.
the same
Who?
topic about.
the myth
I said I
of
forgot her name, but she kind of had that topic about
lobster. Yes.
You know, she talked about how some people looked at lobster as trash, but then it depends on
Oh,
how
this
it's,
was the lady
you know,
on the panel.
It all depends on how it's farmed in order for it to be considered trash or like rich person's food. So.
Because I think she was also referencing too. Good point that you brought up, Tony, was that there's a common misnomer that lobster was considered poor man's food,
Right.
and it was fed to like prisoners and poor people ate it. And she's saying that's the story's a little bit more complicated than that. But yeah.
So can we agree that that's the story for tilapia and Tony?
That what?
That's the story for tilapia and Tony will not be eating it.
Yeah,
that's all good.
Chef Angie won't be eating it either. I mean,
the Africans, they be African fish be so good, like with the spice and the jollof
Child,
rice.
From
you-
tilapia.
a lot of
No,
them
but I
are
gotta ask them.
tilapia.
I gotta call and ask them. I be like, "What kind of fish y'all got?"
Is
They
it
be like
tilapia?
tilapia. I
Yeah.
be like, "I'm cool."
It's either tilapia or snapper, depending on where they get it
All
from.
right,
They say
wait, let's
tilapia-
toast because this wine is so delicious.
delicious.
It is phenomenal.
I be like,
This
what y'all
is a
get?
nice Beaujolais. I thought we. Oh, I'm sorry. It is not a Beaujolais. It's a Côte d'Aron.
Cote d'Aron.
Well, smells great.
I like the color.
It's perfect.
That is very nice. Goes very well with the gumbo, with the seafood gumbo.
Yeah, right. Who, Chef Tony, are you handing a flower to
Today, this week.
this week?
This week, I gotta hand some flowers to my girl, Chef Joy Parham.
Okay.
Right on, Joy.
She has been killing it, I want to say, especially with her culinary education stuff. She's been looking out for CCAP and CCAP schools a lot. You know, she substituted for Mercy High School. And then she also came in and talked to our students during job training on a panel. And she's actually going to take your student on, even though I didn't ask her about it, but she'll probably hear about it before this episode drops. As a mentor, Lavea's looking for her as chef and mentor. So
Chef Joy.
I'm going to reach out to Joy because she was really, up to what Joy said. And also, she got a lot of things popping off this summer. She's usually in a park, Clark Park with her grill.
Right on.
Selling some food, selling her corn joint, even though I get on her about the name.
So I mean, was she in New Orleans this weekend?
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, she's doing some food influencey stuff.
I think
but
she
more
was
so
just
from a
going around
chef's perspective.
tasting.
Yeah, she's doing it more from a chef's perspective, which I really respect and love because it's not like, oh, this is a hot, cool new spot in Philly. Everyone should eat there, no matter if it's good or not. She's more so doing it from like, they have a great ambiance. They have good drinks. They have good cocktails. They have good wine.
And then that pop-up, I didn't get a chance to make it.
I didn't get a chance to make it to her
the
pop-up.
menu
I tried to get
the
there.
menu looked phenomenal. And
I called her
everybody-
up. I'm like, this don't sound like a Joy menu. You cooking a lot of food. She's like, Coach, you always seeing me, when I got to cook 2 or 3 things. I was like, oh, all
She
right.
was like,
but-
respect my joint.
Yeah, but I was in Charlotte at the time. She did the pop-up.
I gave a flower out earlier to my podcast mate, but I would also like to give a bouquet to chef, sister, friend, Chef Enrica, who's in Mississippi right now, and just for the amazing work that she's been doing just as a chef and what she's doing in the Jackson, Mississippi food scene. And, so shout out to her. And I'm excited to see a lot of the ventures she'll be doing this summer.
Who you giving flowers to?
I'm going to give a flower to Eliza Green. So Eliza Green, 14, 15 years ago, brought me into La Dame Escoffier. I had just literally come off the TV show. I was opening a new restaurant. And I ran into her in the Reading Terminal. And she came up to me and she said, "Are you Chef Angie Brown?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I would love to invite you into La Dame Escoffier." And I said, "Sure." I didn't really know anything about it. It was new, but it was worthwhile. I'm happy to be in it. So, I would like to get more women of color in there. I think we have 100 people and we have maybe 12, 13
Are you just talking about the
African-Americans.
Philly chapter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I know about is the Philly chapter. Yeah. So I would like to see more women of color. I would like to bring you two in, when you're ready.
I would love that. Thank you. Can we collectively give out a flower?
Yes.
I want to give a flower to Al, Chef Al.
Yeah, Chef L was
She
dope.
showed some love at Martha's Vineyard.
She really
I want to
did.
say that. She showed some love.
And
to
her
Martha's
mom.
Vineyard. And her mom. What's her mom's name? I forgot. Cheryl?
I think it was Miss Cheryl.
Well, shout out to y'all.
Yo, they
She
were
was
some
nice.
real ones. They were some
Yes.
real ones.
And her mother's very pretty too. She's a very
Both
pretty
of them.
mother.
Both of them.
Yes. Yeah, they were, but I've known Elle for a while now.
So you know that this is our second episode, and we had some time with our first episode, and one of my really good friends, she's always like sending positivity and like good messages to me and like checking on me. She sent me a really nice message about the podcast.
Oh, okay.
And I would love to read it to you guys if that's okay. So her name is Shayna, and me and Shayna actually worked at the Free Library together. We did a Nourish and Literacy program together.
Oh, I know Shayna.
Yeah,
she's
so
sweet.
she texted me and she was like, "Hey, Tone, just finished watching, talking about the podcast. Really great. It was deep, funny, real. I love that you all were sharing a meal throughout. It's such a powerful group and wishing you much success in this project." So, ladies, she caught our drift. That's what we was looking for. We was
Good.
looking to be funny. We was looking for it to be real.
Yes.
So it's really good to hear someone say that, even though it's
So-
like our first episode, to hear someone drop those
Yeah,
words that
really
we're
nice.
looking for.
Really, really
So
nice.
shout out
And-
to Shayna.
Yes, thank you, Shayna. And also, we are up on Twitter, Instagram,
TikTok,
Facebook, Spotify.
Are we on Apple Music yet?
Yes,
Yes,
we
we're
are
on
on
Apple
Apple Music, and
What is all of that under?
Is the handle?
it's under Bound by Fire.
Okay.
So you can find us there. We will be putting up little snippets of different episodes. And I also wanted to get back on topic, and that topic is Black culture and how Black culture can make a trend and everybody jumps on it. Say we have a restaurant and it's a Creole restaurant and all of our food is really good, and we start getting 99% Caucasian clientele. And then what happens?
Well, it's so funny that you talked about that because not yesterday, Friday, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we talked about how, and this just goes beyond Black culture, about how you go to a French restaurant and it's all Mexicans in the kitchen, or you'll go to a Thai restaurant and there's like white guys in the kitchen. Like you go to these places and there's like not the people who you think would be like in the kitchen. And I wanted to know, like, from you guys' perspective, and I know this is kind of going a little bit off topic of what I'm talking about, but you'll see the segue I'm trying to get to. Do you think that, like, in a French restaurant, it should only be French people cooking? Or, like, if you go to a Thai restaurant, it should only be Thai people cooking? Or if you go to a Black restaurant, there should only be, like, Black people cooking? Like, how do you feel about that? Do you think that that is... Because how I look at it is...
Well, I mean, I could look at it from a racist standpoint and say, yeah, when I go to a French restaurant, I want everybody in that kitchen to be French. You know what I mean? I want everybody behind them stoves cooking whatever they're cooking French. I want you to be French. I don't want you to be something else, you know, because you ain't going to do it right. But on the other side of that coin is I believe everybody should have an opportunity to learn a different cuisine.
I agree 100%. Because that's how
you know what I mean?
I am like that. I agree with you 100%.
But I will say this. If I want Asian food and I go into that Asian restaurant and not everybody behind that line is Asian, I ain't eating there.
Why?
Or if I go to this Asian restaurant and everybody in there is Asian, I'm eating there.
I've heard that before.
Front of house or back of house?
Both.
It only matters.
She mean like guests. She mean like guests.
No, that's
like
what I mean. Guests. I mean, to me, that's all that matters. Who I see are at the tables, the cheats and the seats. That's where I'm taking my cue. Like if it's supposed to be like, if I like when I go home, you know what? People will ask me a lot of times, like, where are your favorite restaurants? Even here in Philly or back home or wherever. I'm not gonna lie, it's real easy to go to. I mean, if you can get a reservation, go to Vernick or read an article in Philadelphia Magazine or whatever, and see what like the top 5 best restaurants in Philly are
Usually
today.
Usually people put their friends in.
Exactly, and so that's
usually
why
like people put their friends on that list.
Exactly, and that's why I really like doing like what you said Joy is doing. I like going. To me, I will try a hole in the wall little ragtag place that I notice is busting their ass, has a skeleton crew doing like amazing food. And to me, I want to go to the place where the line is around the block, you know, and check that food. So to me, I'm checking on what did the diners experience look like? Does everybody look like they're in there busting a grub? Like one of the things I love to do on Sundays.
Silk City, best food.
I haven't been in a long time.
I love Silk City.
Wait, last time you been? I haven't been
20 years.
Real quick before we go.
Girl vibe. But like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Angie playing games. But I'll tell you this: I love to go to this place for dim sum.
Their food was
Sundays.
excellent.
How I look at it is like what you were saying from a racist standpoint of like who they put in those kitchens because they know they're gonna work long hours for low pay and all that.
Absolutely.
But then also I see it from a perspective like I'm Black, and just because I'm Black doesn't mean that I should be working in Black restaurants.
Of course
or like
not.
Black kitchens.
No,
you know what
of course not.
But then it also comes to the standpoint: if you advocating for something in your restaurant, you gotta watch who's in the kitchen.
Totally agree. I agree with that.
Could you go into more about what you mean by advocating?
If you want, for instance, kind of like the story Barbacoa had.
Okay.
About immigrants not being paid well in the kitchen and not
at Barbacoa.
I understand.
No,
what you
just that was
just-
kind of like Christina
okay.
Martinez's story.
Oh, really?
And what she would do is she would hire all of those people that, immigrants who were like not paid well and got low pay, and she would pay them their fair wage. And I believe, what's her name? Jen Zavala's also doing that. She doesn't just hire immigrants, but she pays people like a fair wage, and people talk about how her food is expensive and all that. But, Christina hired who she wanted to hire because she wanted to create a story for that, and and really show that what I talk about is what I mean.
Right.
So it all depends on how you approaching things, when it comes to who's in your kitchen, who's cooking your food, who your exec is, who your sous is, and stuff like that.
So in each one of my restaurants, I had the same sous chef. In each one, she went everywhere with me.
Shout
it
out
was
to
a
her.
she. Yeah, Wendy. She passed away 2 years ago, and or a year ago. It's only been a year, but anyway. She went everywhere with me. I mean, I trusted her. Her cooking was fabulous. And she was just a smart girl, hard worker, messy, but a hard worker. I mean, she could mess up a kitchen. I swear to God. I would be just like stunned. I mean, yeah, you cook good, but you are sloppy. So, but.
How I get in this? I'm kidding.
Oh, are you sloppy?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. I hate those moments when you've been working clean the whole day, and it's like the last hour, and you're like, it all went to pot. Like, what happened?
I hate when I'm working, and there ain't no damn tickets, and then I decide to clean up, and all these motherfucking tickets want to roll in, and all I hear.
Where's that at? Where do you work when that happens?
I don't work in
Every time.
in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia.
But I'm sorry. Finish your story about Wendy messing up the kitchen and.
Oh yeah, she's just a mess. But I had full trust on if I showed her a dish to make, she could make it just as good, if not better. And I love that. I never had to worry.
That's hard to find.
Yes, never had to worry. We were just neck and neck. You know what I mean? And
where'd you
Can
find
I just
her?
say these beignets complete the gumbo?
are they good?
Oh, thank you.
Damn.
I had to work hard
Could
for
you
them.
pass me that?
Damn.
You did, girl, but you pulled it
I
off.
was like, Lord.
You pulled it off.
Angie Kitchen got something against me. I be like, they be like, that bitch
It's
can't
my
cook.
kitchen.
They like, that bitch can't cook. I come in here, my shit be like, oh, God.
Well,
That's a good job.
Thank you.
anyway, I was just watching the Louis Vuitton fashion show, right? And I don't know.
Pusha T killed it.
It's just all of the copycat. Everything comes out of Africa. Louis Vuitton design is an African design.
And a lot of that shit came from Dapper Dan in New York when he was making all the fake shit. All of that.
Okay, another
Teaching
black
them.
man.
That's what I'm
Case in
saying.
point.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying I wanted to talk about how you felt about that because everything's being taken from us, and it really is.
I think things are being taken from us, but they're putting it in a way so it could be like, we didn't take it from you guys. And I think they've been doing it for years.
Also, I think conversation. I'm not saying that these conversations aren't important, but I kind of find them boring because I'm like, they've always been doing this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we keep
There's no
creating.
solution.
We keep creating.
So
we keep allowing.
I guess there's no solution to it.
Allowing, I don't know if allowing is the
I
word,
think
but I'm
allowing
saying
is the word, 'cause if
we
you look at-
continue to create. So they can keep vulturing all they want because that's what scavengers do.
But we need to stop allowing that, if we being honest. We need to
So
stop
what-
allowing
so
people
how
to come
would
into
we
our
do that, please?
gatekeep. We don't gatekeep enough.
All right, so
I'm
what
going to
would
be
be the
honest, 100%.
gatekeeping?
If you look on TikTok right now, you see a lot of shit that we didn't gatekeep being popular.
Okay. So what? Give me an example.
Of gatekeeping?
No, give me an example of something that's now on TikTok that we should have gatekeeped, and we should have gatekept,
This is going to be great.
and then
This is going to be great.
All right, spit it out.
no,
Gonna
and
blow
then
your fucking
and how
mind.
we could have done it. Yeah.
And it's not the sense of this needed to be gatekeep. This is just an example of when we create something, a lot of people goes off. So on TikTok, there was a lot of, you know how like when you was a young boy and you be driving in your car with your mom and you like, can we go to McDonald's? We got food in the house.
Right.
Like, right?
Right.
So it was a lot of like trend stuff like that going on
Yeah.
TikTok with the like
You ain't got
different
McDonald's
sounds
money.
and stuff. You ain't got McDonald's money.
Yeah.
And I saw a little white girl doing it. Then I saw a little black boy doing it. And I'm not saying that it's not true from them, but that never been their thing. It never been their argument. Never been argument. It never been their thing. It just
colloquialisms, not how they speak. That's not their vernacular. Because I noticed too. Like on Twitter, I like consume social media a lot. Like all platforms.
That's why my Twitter block.
And just like when you like seeing white people tweet or read articles when they speak in a vernacular of blackness that white people did not speak like
right
that.
Exactly
before the platform of unless you
let's go ahead finish girl
I
killing it you killing it
before the platform of the spread, the global platform of the spread of like Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok, and all, and the memification. I know Tumblr was that John though. Tumblr was that. All right, anyway, but I'm just saying you really had to be a white person to get those kind of affectations. You had to literally hold space with black people.
Yes.
Like you had to be
like
in black schools.
Yes.
Be
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Be the one white friend or whatever. You know, you had.
That's like Kid and Play.
But now
Kid and Play's mom was white, and he said that his mom was a cool white mom.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that
he
interview.
said.
But she was that drawn. She
yes,
was in the mix.
Right, exactly. She was in the mix. And she's exactly who you're talking about, who would have that diction down.
Right.
And because I have white friends who've been in the mix who don't like have that diction.
Okay, but that's a different kind of white person.
So that's why I think I think sometimes they overdo it and they do it to still. No matter how much they've been down with us.
You know what I think it comes
because it's been a lot of not even just white girls that I know who I grew up around.
You know where it comes from?
What?
It's just like I ain't gonna say no names. But
like
it happened to me on Martha's Vineyard. That woman touched my hair.
Yeah, too many white people got baby hairs now.
And
like too many girls that's not black got baby hairs now. That's weird
look,
to me.
That look that woman had in her fucking eyes.
Because Angie be cursing me out.
And she was like, she just thought she could. I'm not gonna say her name on the podcast.
We definitely gonna say her name on the podcast.
Well, say the bitch's name.
It had been so long since
she fucking touched your hair.
It was so long since a white woman.
We can't say her name. We can't say her name.
Fucking crazy, and touched my goddamn hair. You should have seen the look on her
No free
face.
commercials, Angie. That's why we not saying
okay,
names.
so wait. Could I ask you where we were when this happened?
That was our first day, cocktail hour. Yeah. And they came around with that nutty-ass fish sandwich.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, and
I remember.
Listen,
I don't remember the white lady who did it.
I do. Oh, I do.
Oh, my God.
I'll never forget
How many cookbooks does she have?
I'm not.
12, 20, 25?
You giving free commercials.
Fucker. Anyway.
And she touched your hair.
My hair.
And when she touched it, did she say, oh?
Look, you should have seen.
What'd she say?
You would have thought it was Christmas morning. And she saw the sparkly lights and she just had to touch it. And that's what I mean.
Make it glitter.
That's what I mean. About that shit. That's what I mean about this is what I think. This is what I think all that shit comes from, right? That they go, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. They want to be a part of it, but they're
okay. Wait. I'm sorry, Naya. Naya.
Fuck her, man. That shit pissed me off so fucking bad. I had to catch I was like, I'm in Martha's Vineyard.
Naya,
chill the fuck out.
That's good. I'm proud of you.
I need you.
You know if it was me.
Because I was going to touch her hair.
And if it was me, I would have. That bitch would have had cornrows when I was done.
Listen.
Naya called me the other day, and she went on a tangent about the lady in the clothing store, April, and when I went and got the white dress.
Oh, when Angie says, you up here, and I'm bringing you down. Angie told that lady, you up here, so I had to bring you down.
I was like, well, I just think that. And she was like, no, because you're fucking up here, and I'm bringing you down.
You up here, and I had to bring it down.
And I was like,
and she looked at that motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Because the lady told us that we should me and Naya should come to the Vineyard and do different beach.
No, that's not what she said. She said
private dinner and stuff like
you all could make so much money. Is what she said.
By doing what?
By doing whatever chefing on the island.
On the island.
But I guess why I was offended by it was because there's a pecking order, and because she is not in that field and knows absolutely nothing about it, For her to say to you all that you could come up on the island and make money like right away was just not real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
People always think that they know something about our industry.
Yeah,
they think it's so easy to just be like,
oh
well,
yeah,
it's in a
you
place
can
to be
do
like,
this
I'm
and you
doing
can
this.
do
Well,
that.
just any type of advice in general, motherfuckers. Every time somebody try to give you advice, it's like assholes. Everybody's got one.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm too much of an artist before I am a chef to be out here doing some
Yeah,
bullshit.
but anyway,
I can't.
what?
I can't. I'm too much of an artist before I'm a chef to be out here doing some bullshit. So I care about every.
Well, it wasn't
piece
that, but it
that I
wasn't.
do.
It wasn't
no,
that.
it wasn't that. But I had to just go piggyback off what she was just saying.
Well,
about people
but my
giving
point
advice.
to all that was, it was. I mean, when Naya played it back for me, it was funny, But I was serious because she just kept going on, and she didn't seem to realize or hear what I was
We
saying.
should get shirts made.
And say what? Measure your words.
No, say you up here, and I had to bring it down. Martha's
But I
Vineyard.
don't even remember saying that.
2023. Angie Brown.
I don't
I know,
remember
with the
saying that.
hand right there, that'd be the
Right.
logo.
Did I do that? But did I
You were
literally
like,
do
you're
this?
right here,
Angie,
and I brought you down
you
here.
said you had to get on the angle with it. You said you was up here, and I had
and
to
to
bring it down here.
Yeah, you said with your whole fucking body.
And then you went up there.
And the way, look,
then
when
you went up there and paid for your shit.
when you hit the fucking corner,
I
Tony,
walked away. And I was like, fuck. I said, I'm leaving Naya right there with Angie and this lady, and I'm going to go look at this aromatherapy shit.
I was like,
Oh my god!
I said, because I already know what's about to go on. Angie said, who are you?
I was like,
See, I hate when you two exaggerate. I did not say
Exact-
that to her.
yes, you did.
I said, "Who are you?" I would never say that to
You
anybody.
said it. You said, who are
because
you?
she was like,
Because she was talking to us, and you was like, "Oh, how they know this lady? Because these,
and then
I invited these bitches to the island. How they know people up here?"
She was like, oh, and who are you? And you were like, well, who are you?
Oh, see, I blacked out.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. we
I
know.
don't remember any of that.
Yeah, you did.
Well, it was an entertaining conversation because,
It was good to see though.
but it was good in the sense that she brought something up that I probably would have not thought to say to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's why it was
so
good to me.
So in other words, I am a little glad that it happened so I could tell you all. First of all, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to Martha's Vineyard and you're going there to do work, to make some money for the summer and things like that, one, you have to have a place to stay. You just can't go up on the island and think, oh yeah, well, I'll find a place. That it doesn't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's in fairy tales somewhere. So you've got to plan ahead. So like in January, you need to figure out how you're going to stay on the island for the summer from May to September.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be cheap. So you got to either find a place where other people who are up there, are renting a house and you can contribute that way. Mm-hmm. So you have to make that connection first. Mm-hmm. Then you have to make the connection of who you're working for, because you're not coming up there to work on your own. That's just not going to happen.
Because Kanika make it look easy.
Well, no. Well, because
I'm joking,
Kanika
'cause she's worked hard up there.
Kanika took the time to live up there during the winter,
Make those
form
connections.
herself in the community, put herself out there, get in with people who are in the same culture, and she put the work in.
Because if me and Naya didn't have you and we just went up to the vineyard on some chef stuff and we had that interaction with that lady, we could have made plans like, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. Because like I said, we look at somebody like Kanika who's like making it look so easy. And then that's why you had to bring it to reality to us. Like, yo, ladies, it don't work like that.
No, don't work like that.
And it's hella clicky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Kanika called me yesterday and told me that there's this black book, a list of black chefs and black restaurants. So I was told there's like 37 or something black chefs on the island now. When I started, it was probably like 5 or 10.
And you was making them crab cakes,
and
you
they
was
weren't
one of them.
and 5 or 10 weren't black. Maybe 4 were black.
And you was one of them making them crab cakes, right?
Honey,
So you mean when you were saying black chefs, the ones that they were making black food, but they weren't necessarily black? Is that what you meant?
Oh no.
She was saying like chefs total, like private.
No,
chefs
I'm
total.
saying like there were probably maybe 5 black chefs actually working on that island when I started. I don't ever remember. Dion has always been a face up there. You know, so he's a given. And when I started really working up there, I worked under the umbrella of Jan Berman. Okay, and I worked as a private chef, and she would send me out 10 days at a time with the same family.
Right.
You know, so I would go from different families to different families. That's the kind of work I did. You know, I would also get jobs on my own. I had a family that I cooked for every summer, like clockwork. We did the contracts during the winter, sent them back and forth. Come the dates that they were going to be there, I cooked for them. And then as I got known is when I was able to pick up Jan Berman and work under her. And, you know, so this business that we're in, I'm in the private chef of my life at this point. You know, I don't want to do any more than that. And I don't really even want to do private chefing anymore. This is what I want to do, this podcast, and getting myself out there and having conversations. And we're really wanting to take this a step further and bring in a guest that we can talk to. Every episode we should have a different guest that we can sort of, you know, find out what's happening in Philadelphia.
Where they gonna sit?
We have plenty of room at this table.
We're gonna need more lights, boss.
But I should have known.
We always got room.
But I should have known that that's something that you would have thought of. Where
There's always there's always a seat at the table.
So
especially when it comes to me.
I'd like to have some
Always a seat at the
champagne. I
table.
want to finish off with a toast. Rick.
Hit us up on Twitter and social media and
And-
let us know what you guys want to hear from us and what you want to see us cook.
Yeah, especially on Twitter and TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram and.
Because in case y'all didn't know, today's theme was Creole cuisine. And Chef Angie made her famous seafood gumbo. And Tony came through with the hella good cornbread,
that
herb
cornbread
cornbread.
was delish. And Naya's
I'm here.
beignets
Naya
that
beignet.
was an act of love because they
were-
came in.
them beignets were good.
They were really good.
Shut up, Mish.
And so, and so now, ladies, let's hold up our glasses.
And that's why we are what?
And we are
Bound by fire.
See you next time.
Salud.
Enjoy.
Your fingers to the bone.